Hi, this video is going to be about strumming. We'll be talking about strumming with plectrums, going to be talking about strumming with the fingers. Now, there are a number of different ways one can manipulate one's fingers, from going to picking, and it's always with the tips. Strumming, always with the tips. Now, here's something, and I'm going to just change angles in that. When we do strumming with the index finger, you can try your middle finger too. Notice how the middle finger moves with as little movement from the rest of the hand as possible, just enough to have the wrist flick in that motion. And I start not too far away from the fourth string, and I don't go beyond the first string by too much either. Just really up to the edge of the sound hole would be a good guide. Unless you're doing tapping and all that kind of thing, that's when you get into percussive ukulele. So here I'm just using my middle finger. Notice the distance of the wrist. See, there's the flat hand, well, relaxed flat hand. Just lifting it away, and the full extension of the finger must be possible without driving and bashing the nail bed. So it's just the tip of the finger or the tip of the nail, whether you have nails or not. So if you do have nails, the tip of the nails, and if you have short nails, it'll be the flesh down and the flesh up. Of course, the thumb can also come into this as well. I often end up playing with the thumb on the downstrokes, or just partial downstrokes, and the index finger, the tip only, brushing. Notice that movement, brushing the strings on the upward motion. Now, if you're struggling with playing upstrokes, here's something that you can try. Imagine the downstrokes, I'm not hitting the string, and then play your ups, and learn to get a really nice tone with the upstroke. So miss downstroke, that's using the thumb and the forefinger. If you're just using the forefinger, miss strum ups, miss strum ups, so you miss the downbeat intentionally. And just be very relaxed about it. Think through what you're doing. So you can say miss up, not mess up, okay? Miss up, miss up. And notice the extension of the first finger. It's not going to be like this, where you're clawing or where you're driving with your nail in your first joint, like that. You can just hear it sounds pretty terrible. So it's always the tip. I like that approach because I can identify like the fourth string and come up with the up strum. Effectively, in a 4x4 bar, you'll have 4 down strums and 4 up strums, giving you a total of 8, being called 8 notes. There's another way of strumming. I remember seeing Frank Zappa doing this for demonstration with a little ukulele, really tiny one. But it's where you have the wrist like this. Notice that I've come from this position to that position. So this is like a normal fist approach. Okay, there's a better view of it. And what we do is we just take the first finger and extend it, and we use the side of either side of that finger. This in a way is simpler because we're not changing the angle of the first finger like we do here. So a relaxed, rigid-like index finger might be the answer to your strumming problems. Notice it's just the first finger extended, so the thumb keeps the movement going with the index finger, and then the rest of the hand is still in a relaxed, yet closed fist. So just a brief summary. If you're using your index finger, use a slight angle down to the strings. You're extending the index finger, so you're quite a distance just so that the tip of the nail or the tip of the finger brushes the string, and then you have the up strum. You can include the thumb. Notice the loose closed fist idea. Sometimes I spread mine out like this to actually get a really good swing, and also leave my fingers free to go into picking. It all depends what kind of player you want to be in terms of your strumming and your right hand. Now for the people who use plectrums, the felt plectrum is often sold sometimes with some ukulele kits and is considered to be a favorite for strumming. Notice I said a favorite for strumming. I said nothing about being able to pick melody lines. Okay, so I want to talk about what's available on the market if you're not using felt picks. Jim Dunlop have a range of nylon picks, and they're ranged in colors from white through to black. And those who love black and white photography will get the idea. So the white one is the thinnest of the picks. Then if we move into gentle gray, it is flexible, but not as flexible as the white one. Now the white pick or the gray pick, and you'll find they're often sold in bundles or mixed bundles. If you go to Gear for Music and you look up Jim Dunlop picks, you'll find the nylon range. Now, holding the pick, very important. You have your thumb touching the first joint of your index finger, okay? Where the nail bed is, the nail sticks out, or the part of your finger with the nail on sticks out, and you just put the plectrum between it like that. Then you're ready to strum. The grip on the plectrum is light. It must just be enough so the plectrum isn't falling out of your hand all the time. At least if it is falling out of your hand, you're not gripping it too tightly, which is a good thing. So it's a very light grip. Now sometimes you'll find, and this will be a good thing if you do find it, that when you do the down strum, that you just have a slight squeeze on the plectrum, not a hard one, but it definitely is there to give more punch. And you're going to be strumming about here. And there's that slight clicking sound, but it can be very pleasant. It brings a bit of percussion into your playing. With the grey pick, the percussive sounds diminishes a bit because of the firmness of the material. Just make sure you've got that correct grip going. And once you go onto the grey pick, you can start finding that you are able to pick, and that's a wrist motion. And you might want to actually have the gently closed fist for that. See how easy it is to go from the strumming idea to the picking idea. Right, now we come to the heavy duty stuff, the black pick. Getting the right plectrum grip, just a bit sticking out, and it comes out by the side of the thumb. This is if you're going to be picking. You can strum with it, but you'll find that it'll be more inclined to want to pull out of your hand. But if you're someone who plays melody lines, or you're going into playing little licks in between a song, this would be an ideal pick. Some jazz players will play with their fingers, and then for their melodies they will pick up a plectrum. So jazz players will be working like this, doing the comping on the guitar, and then they will have a pick on a stand, and then they will do the pick for the melodies. But if you just like being a melody player or someone who just likes to punch in a rhythm, like for example, instead of playing intricate rhythms, you might just want to push. This pick will be ideal for that kind of thing. So I hope my demonstrations have helped you and helped you to see what different kinds of styles can come from using different picks, and then of course what different finger articulations we can use. Where we have the closed fist, the open hand, if you like to put in other little things. So there's the closed fist, gently closed fist, and the swing of the index finger on the wrist, the index finger strum. I use the open hand because I like to do other things with my fingers and come into my picking. But if that's not you, then simply a closed fist idea again with the thumb floating, and then the index finger brush, so that you use the tip of the nail, the tip of the finger. The flesh of the finger if your nails are short, and then all the picking where you can switch very easily between this style and finger picking. Okay, so thank you for listening, and I hope that your playing begins to excel far beyond your expectations, and that you really start loving this incredible little instrument.